Yes.
Director Brown?
Yes.
Director Baskin?
Yes.
Director Clayton?
Yes. First agenda item is our committee reports.
No, isn't it the minutes of the regular meeting?
Regular meeting, sorry. I'm trying to
Got ahead of yourself.
make a motion to accept it.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? Aye. Now let's go to our committee reports.
I don't have any updates. Martin didn't give me any updates on committee reports, so I cannot. Carrie, do you know of any committee reports that were held? Okay,
Yeah, I would have to.
so no, I don't have anything for you. I'm sorry. And for the general manager's report, Martin is still in Phoenix and it's 116 degrees, so he might come back as a puddle. I don't know. I don't have any updates for you on that either. So the manager of finance and administration report, Mr. President, I provided the man register for your review and approval.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
The budget to actual financial statements are informational only, but the budget deviation needs to be approved by the board.
I'll go to public session. We stay with it before we come to public session.
Wait.
But you
You've got to approve the budget deviation number 2.
I'll make a motion to approve.
You have a second?
what page is it?
It is on page 14. No. So I can quickly go through it. The landscaping, the big item is tree removal, and tree removal was placed in the fixed asset budget, in the capital budget, and it is not a capital budget because it is a maintenance item. You can't amortize or depreciate trees that are gone. So we had 150,000 in the budget for that, and we spent 120. So actually we netted out $30,000 for that one. And then the main hangar roof repair came before the board. So everyone on the board knew about that prior to this, so it shouldn't be a surprise. An additional pollution insurance was purchased. Not exactly sure why, but it was a decision of the previous general manager. We had additional signs required by the FAA. And we all know about the legal fees and what's happening with those. We estimated an amount through the year end and we went over it. And the utilities for mobile home park was higher than what they had budgeted. They provide us with a budget number, but that money is a pass through, so it doesn't really affect us. And then again, we have unforeseen issues with and we hired consultants to work with that, and all of those contracts came before the board, so everyone is aware of what is included in that. Janitorial fees increased. Everyone knows what's happening with natural gas. If they have any of that at home, we all know that went up. Dues went up because we joined more. I can't tell you exactly which we didn't budget for, but apparently we didn't budget for every due that we paid this year, and some of them just went up. We used the year before, so and then electricity costs, again, that's out of our purview. We don't have any control over that. And then we had got new LED lights and base plates for the taxiways. And then the last item, number 14, is me showing you that I'm taking that out. That makes sense. What I'm doing is, does that make sense?
We're making a toss out. Yeah.
I would second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Now we're up.
Yes.
We're places before we talk about those recent type of board. I think board please give the clerk. That's required the board action to refer to staff. I think that's the appropriate agenda. Members of the public, according to the right to speak on agenda items as they occur, staff report covering agenda items will be available for review and optional on the Tuesday prior to the meeting. For the time limit, 2 minutes, testimony. For reserves the right to establish further time limits to receive the testimony and have one at a point time with Mr. David Basket.
Thank you. Yesterday, I received from a John Hurley a message at 12:19 p.m. regarding the non-flying aircraft fee. And I'm going to read it so we all have a clear understanding of some of the issues that we have, that the board created for hangar attendants. Hi, David. I have 3 aircraft, all airworthy. My Mooney is flown north, but does not have an ADS-B, so it does not show up in the flight aware. Last May, I flew it to drop my friend's ashes over his ranch. He was an Air Force veteran, and his dying wish was for me to do this for him. I'm attaching a picture of the airdrop. I'm being charged extra for the Mooney. The Aerostar has ADS-B and shows up on the flight aware, so they do not charge extra for that thing. They told me to come in and show my logbooks, but I have not had the time to retrieve the maintenance logs and then visit the airport. I have 7 kids, 4 businesses, and a nonprofit youth organization. My family and I were just gone for 2 months to the East Coast. Another time-consuming government regulation that literally does nothing but intrude on my privacy and personal life and consume my time and resources, making more work for me or my employees is pointless. And so for all these reasons, I have just been paying the extra tax. Neither the FAA nor the insurance companies require this information, so why does the airport? At this rate, I can foresee a day when 100%, more than 100% of a man's life is devoted to government compliance. As for me and all of my businesses, I think I'm up to 2 or maybe 3 lifetimes continually spent on government compliance. Please do what you can to reduce our workload and waste of time, money, and effort. In the past, I was one of 50 pilots invited to Congress to testify against the Homeland Security since they had been tracking my flying and raided me at a remote airport in New Mexico. 20+ agents, all with no evidence. Just suspicion and flight aware snooping. The cost of all parties went far beyond financial and severely negatively impacted by joy and logistics of flying, as well as the pilot and government relations. In my experience, what I'm hearing from my hangar neighbors is this situation at the airport feels very similar. Or we were to testify in Congress, Homeland Security saw the problem and agreed to stop tracking the pilots. And I hope all the board members will agree to do the same. So my suggestion is let's correct the mistake the board made, and next board meeting hopefully we'll get that done. Thank you.
Okay. One thing that wasn't on the agenda is from our attorney. Do you have anything personal?
No,
Okay. Well,
that was,
very good.
that was removed on purpose.
Oh, okay.
I think we're not gonna have district council reports anymore.
Okay. Authorization for the president and secretary to execute the consent of lease over between the Home Leasing LLC and Valley Farms Inc.
I read through about the 75 pages, I think is there, and I make a motion to approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Authorization for the president and secretary to execute the consent of lease over between the Home Leasing LLC and Durant Harvesting Inc. and Destiny Farms LLC.
I make the same motion, I think it's about 30 pages, so.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Agenda item 8 has been pulled. I guess John's not done reviewing the plans as of right now. We'll go to agenda item 9, which is review and approve budget for 2 directors to attend the Counter USA Summit to be held August 15, 16, 2023 in Old Town, Alexandria, Virginia.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is something the board asked for, so I've provided the budget for you to review and approve. It's about $7,116 for 2 directors to attend this conference.
I'll comment on this since I've been involved with counter drones and drones for some time. And I believe it's important for us to be fully aware of all the threats. We may have some regulatory restrictions on what we do about the threats, but I believe we should be updated on them and know what they are and meet with the FAA, which will be there, and see what we can do to make sure that we do not have what I described before. DC-10 tanker coming in here refueled, being intercepted by dark drones, and we have blood, guts, burning flames all up and down the runway out here because of an intercept by dark drone put off by bad guy that cannot be tracked, will not be seen, cannot be intercepted. We need to be aware of those, even though we may not have the authority at our local level to take direct action, but we can take indirect action. So I make a motion that would be approved as we talked about it before.
Okay, I'm looking at this agenda. Do you have a second on it? I'll second. Okay. For discussion, I'm looking at this agenda, so I'm trying to figure out how it really helps us, Dave. I understand your position on it. As I go to the agenda, it's protecting the homeland. As USA's regulation accelerates, sensors and acting data, lessons identifying from the use of USA in theaters all over the world. You get coffee, enhancing expedition capabilities, ground-based air defense in the Marine Corps. Tactical sea requirements for small units, survivability of modern battlefield. Kinetic options covering USA threats. Panel discussion gaps and challenges. Mitigating evolving threats from the homeland and battlefields. Assessing the use of weaponized UAV in the Middle East. That's day 1. Laying existing counterintelligence for warfare, for which sides of warfare, the dominant potential significant strength of drones in the battle space. Take advantage of materials. Discussing critical and political infrastructure challenges. That's one session. Protection, mitigation, and special defense. Lessons of operational maritime counter defense and deployment. I mean, I can understand your concern about it. The way I look at it, it's more geared militarily than for us as an airport.
My additional information is the military equipment and devices and techniques tend to filter down in the commercial side. And we are an airport, but we also have a lot of military aircraft here that come in 40 to 40% authorized at this airport. And we can be more knowledgeable about it or not. It's your, we respect your opinion. You can vote the way you want, but my belief is that people on this board should be fully aware of what's happening nationally and internationally, because this is an airport. And LAX has had 2 near misses. There have been an airport shut down in London because of near misses of drones. We have people around here that's growing, a lot more drones in ag, a lot of drones in other organizations. Police have drones, the sheriff has drones. And I think it's important for us to have knowledge right here. And I don't care if it's me or not, but it should be knowledge at this board and at this airport for what's being developing out there. Currently, a lot of damage is being done in the Ukraine-Russian war with drones. Some of them sacrificial drones, some of them returning drones. But my suggestion is we have more knowledge, and be prepared for things that we don't want to happen. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I just think there's probably a better conference in this one, somewhere that's more in tune to our needs. But anyway, I'll call for the vote, we have a first and second.
Okay.
Those in favor?
Aye.
No? No? No. Okay.
Okay.
Number 10, authorization.
If that's the case, we could put it on another meeting, another time, and let's get, Mr.
Oh, no, we can pull that, absolutely. Yeah.
For the next meeting, let's get his vote on it too.
Authorization for Tom Woodrow to attend the National Business Aviation Association Conference held October 17th to 19th in Las Vegas, Nevada for the customs marketing.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is to allow Tom to interface with the NBAA. It's relatively inexpensive, $2,344 for this conference.
Folks, be approved, getting customs after much ado and much trauma, including some of my unpaid trips to DC where I went over and met with customs some years ago, and they said they would approve it when it got to them. And just do the things to get some customers ready to use it when it opens. So
I'll second that.
Okay, first and second, all those in favor? Aye. And now we'll go into closed session. One item. Yeah. Yeah, no, we won't get going, we're just gonna wrap it with this one.
Yeah.
What if I'm wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. No, we have to, we gotta throw her out. All right, gentlemen, we're going to closed session, so. Folks. Unless you guys would like to address the board, you do that with the session.
Right.
Okay, again. We're going to eliminate conflict of legal counsel anticipated litigation. Paragraph 243 of subdivision D of Dublin Code section 54956.1. One case. So we are establishing a code.
Yeah.
That's 626 with no reportable actions. And we'll go to director's comments. Director Masker.
One of the things I continue to mention from time to time is energy, getting energy independence with this airport. And do we have any updates on the possible RFI, RFP going out so we get a good energy assessment? I know we've got the 450 some kilowatts going to go in where the parking lot is. But to move beyond that, because my personal guess is we need about 2 megawatts. So that any movement.
I know that Martin is holding meetings regarding this.
Okay.
He is.
Right, okay. When the grid goes down, and there's people like, that's all I've got.
No comment. Thank you, Brad. On the energy data, I agree, and I do know that Martin's been working with John from Plant Aglia on the microphone.
Okay,
So he went to some conference or something, he's trying to get more information, put something together, we can get, come up with a proposal.
we had a place 2 degrees cooler than my son has in Phoenix, which his is 118, Mark said 216.
So anyway, I'll call for the motion to adjourn.
Motion made.
Is that second? All those in favor? Aye. Let's go. You got. Thanks again.